Mike Sierra 1 can't handle the truth.
You're a cheat and a swindler. That's what you are. How can you do a thing like this?
I am authorized to assure you these rumors are based on hysteria and are absolutely false. I repeat, these rumors are absolutely false.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining me once again as I take another look into the relentless lies of Mike Zeroh. It's been almost a week since South Park's Joining the Pandaverse aired, in which it did indeed take a long hard look at Disney and their need to race and gender swap well-established characters within their own back catalogue of productions. Although this was not directly shown, instead they used characters within the South Park universe to drive home their point that no one is safe. In my last video we already looked at how Zeroh maintained that Disney were going to take action against South Park's creators Trey and Matt. We know this is a fruitless exercise, as Disney have been the brunt of South Park's style of parody humor for almost 27 years, and to this day no action has ever been taken. But this hasn't stopped Zeroh still making up stuff about Disney's undying need to take down South Park in response to how Disney were treated in the show. Pre-joining the Pandaverse's airing, all of Zeroh's videos talked about how Disney were doing Zoom calls with Trey and Matt, as well as executives, to stop the show, and that Disney and by extension Bob Iger were going to take legal action. So Zeroh knew that all this was going on. He knew Trey and Matt were having a back and forth with Disney, and still are. He even used Bob Iger in all of his thumbnails to drive home it was Disney's fight. But for all of Zeroh's clairvoyance skills, he never saw Kathleen Kennedy involved in any of it. Her dismay never appeared in Zeroh's videos until 2 days after the show aired. The South Park show exists and was aired on the 27th of October and as speculated would involve Disney somehow. We know all of that to be true. Zeroh had no other information whatsoever. The Zoom calls, the allegations directed toward Paramount, Trey and Matt, and the ongoing legal battle that's been taken up again are all fake. Zeroh has already laid the groundwork again for this legal battle, by pretending that it will be going on through November, maybe into December, a flagging exercise that's used by him all the time. Again, I only say this because if he knew what was coming, why was Kathleen Kennedy only involved in Zeroh's videos after the show aired and not before? He knows that Trey and Matt are getting approved to make 2 more Pandaverse-style shows for the South Park series, which now will include more Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger and even Chapek. Funny how she is going to be involved in these shows, but he never saw her involvement the first time round. There was something else that caught my attention over the past few days, and that was the announcement that the Snow White remake was being delayed to 2025. Now there have been a good many arguments as to why this is happening. The main ones being all the controversy dished out by Zegler, plus the Daily Wire's own remake of Snow White said to drop around the same time, all pretty close to Disney's. Of course there may be a multitude of factors, but these are the main ones that most seem to subscribe to. I covered how Zeroh made up some prequel and sequel news to the Snow White remake for 2024, all of which he removed over time. Again, they served their purpose as news content for his channel, and then he dropped all of those stories, mainly for the reason that they were never real in the first place. Further to this, in regards to Snow White 2024, for months he told you about trailer companies being hired and then fired, all the reshoots, scenes cut, how the film was almost completely re-edited, save some other bits that needed to be reworked, including sound mixing, rewriting songs, the list goes on. Once again, Zeroh never exhibited any prior knowledge of anything going on around him in the real world, until the trailer dropped for the Daily Wire's version of Snow White, and then and only then did he start making videos about Disney going after the Daily Wire. If you can't see that Zeroh's clickbait facts only transpire after the real facts are known, I really don't know of any other way to make you understand how you're lied to. But if you wait long enough, Zeroh will always come undone, and in my book it's happened again. In a video titled Disney Plan to Take Down Daily Wire Non-Woke Snow White with Brett Cooper, This is Pathetic, he came out with the following.
Now, with the Daily Wire preparing their own version of this tale, dubbed Snow White and the Evil Queen, starring Brett Cooper, one major development has to do with Disney's plan to take down the Daily Wire and outperform them with their version of the movie starring Rachel Zegler. Now, right now, the marketing team of Snow White was handed specific instructions via Disney. The part of this plan to take down the exposure of the Daily Wire's version of Snow White has to do with the fact that the Disney heads are now planning to drop either new teasers and trailers, as well as clips or footage for their film on the day of the Daily Wire releases their full-length trailer for their film and/or clips.
So as of the 28th of October, Disney were planning their response to the Daily Wire's Snow White film by releasing more clips and trailers of their own, as a way to undercut everything that was now being done by the Daily Wire. In no less than 24 hours, on the 29th of October, after the announcement was made about the delay for Snow White 2024, and how it was going to be moved to 2025, Zeroh made this comment in a video titled Rachel Zegler Insane Reaction to South Park Destroying Woke Disney, Pandaverse Strikes Back.
Now, like I said before, Snow White is officially delayed until March of 2025. It is official. This is something that has been in the talks for several months now. They're claiming it's due to SAG. You know, we've been hearing a lot of other aspects related to it than that, but let's move on, shall we?
Once again, Zeroh has been caught out. 24 hours earlier he was telling you that Disney have all but given Zegler free rein in interviews on the red carpet. More trailers and clips are going to be coming as a direct response to the Daily Wire's actions, and the very next day the film has been pushed back a year. But not only that, Disney have been in talks about doing this for months, several months apparently. So everything I mentioned earlier about his so-called reshoots, trailer companies and so on are totally redundant if he already knew several months ago Disney were going to be cancelling Snow White's release for March 2024. And as a way to drive this point home, several months ago Zeroh's clickbait news revolved around Star Wars predominantly. It was only 4 months ago his channel changed from Star Wars to covering stuff about Indy 5, and then 3 months ago he was all over Snow White, which follows in accordance to the videos he was uploading in that time frame. So this begs the question, why didn't he make any videos within those several months if he knew this was going to be Disney's plan all along, that being, moving Snow White 2024 to 2025? He said it had something to do with SAG and other aspects, which he failed to mention and wanted to move on from the topic altogether, and frankly I can't say I'm surprised. I'm not sure if Zeroh will stick with his Snow White clickbait now. It's going to be a whole year before anything may happen with this film. If he does run with it and continue to come out with stories surrounding this production, it's going to wear thin very quickly, but it's never stopped him before. You may not agree with what I have said or pointed out in this video, but it's only a counter to what is essentially a one-sided story from Zeroh, to which I'm presenting another side that some may not have considered. Well, that's all I have for today, so thank you for watching, and until the next time, take care and I'll see you again soon.
So maybe come up from your mom's basement, okay? And get a real life and stop scaring people, you nerd. Yeah, basic.